right, guys, so we finally got to the beach. Everybody's settled. So I wanted to make sure that I came on to talk to you all about marriage, how to pursue your dreams, life after marriage and after kids, so that you can kind of get more of an inside view from a female's perspective. So I'm gonna have my friend Devin, as I introduced to you earlier. She's gonna chime in on some of our conversation to provide her insight as well. Okay, so the first topic that I would like to tackle is, how do you support your husband in his dreams without losing yourself and your goals and your aspirations?
I think marriage is about give and take. So it's very rare where you will see a woman and a man both at the exact same time pursuing each of their separate dreams. Most of the time it's going to take that's where the give and take come in at, where you're going to have to give some support at a season in your life while the spouse is doing their dreams, and you have to support. And then there's going to come a time where once they're established in their dream, then you get to the take part, where they have to now give the support, and then you're taking the time to pursue whatever dream that you have. But the conflict really just comes in who goes first.
Exactly.
That's really all it is.
Yeah, I completely agree, because you have to understand that as a wife, you are the helpmeet, you're the support.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that you completely negate what you want and your desires, but you have to work towards making sure that your spouse is able to fulfill their complete and total potential, while also making sure that you're not neglected in the process. So like Devin said, and that's what I was thinking on as well, it happens in phases. So yes, there is a possibility that you both can pursue your dreams together if they are in line with each other. Right. So say for instance, Gorden and I, we're both in music and both in ministry. Right. So yes, we can pursue that at the same time. However, in some facets of that, I have to take a back seat to make sure that he's able to go and completely maximize his opportunities as far as him fulfilling his dream first. So it works in phases, but you do not negate or neglect yourself in the process. You provide as much support as they need. And a lot of times what your spouse may need from you is just being a listening ear, or being able to bounce ideas off of each other as far as how they can better their dreams or better the opportunities that are in front of them. Even helping them to strategize as far as them getting to their dream. So the process of your spouse or significant other pursuing their dreams, you're going to help, you're going to provide as much support as they need, but you're also going to work towards, in the meantime, planning when it's your turn, right?
Yes. I'm sorry, I can only count 6.
Okay, so she has to make sure she's counting the children while we're doing this. But I would say you have to be a very good multitasker.
Yes. Good job.
Another thing is that you all have to realize that when you're married, you're one. So basically, if your spouse is winning, if they're pursuing their dreams, you're winning.
Trust and believe.
If they're fulfilled, you're fulfilled.
When they bring in that money, you bring in that money.
If they're able to bring in extra revenue, you're able to bring in extra revenue. It works one and the same. So I guess it's a matter of changing your perspective and considering what's most important to your family, to your marital situation, or your situation as far as a relationship, what works best for you. You also have to make sacrifices for your spouse as far as if you have children. If you have children, you as a wife, you have to make more of the sacrifice, because with children, more than likely they're going to be with the mom, because we are the nurturers. So a lot of times Gorden might be out preaching, or he might have to sing, or he might be out ministering or helping people, and I'll be home with the kids. That you being home and supporting your children, that is a ministry too. So I don't want you to devalue that or feel like that's not good enough. It is good enough. That's what God called you to do as well, as a mom and as a female. We are nurturers. So it's okay if that's your position right now. If you're playing that role, if that's your position, that's fine. You're doing an amazing job. Keep doing that. And then when it's your turn, make sure that you have it, like I said earlier, strategized and planned out, so when it's your turn, you can start pursuing full throttle, and it won't be any hesitation. You won't have to think through the process as much. You've got it all figured out. Or your husband or your spouse can add on to the plan that you've already started, and make sure that whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, you're able to do that with ease.
Just don't use that as an excuse that, oh, I'm home with the kids all day, or I've been
Yeah, when they're taking a nap.
Yeah, when they're taking a nap, when they're playing and they've already eaten lunch and they're off in their room or whatever time that works best for you, after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, late at night, it doesn't matter. But you definitely don't want to use the excuse that I've been with the kids all day and I'm tired and this, that, and the third. If you have a dream and you really want to pursue it, it's going to come with tiredness. It's going to come with a little strain, but you just got to push through it.
Yeah, anything worth having is worth fighting for. So if this is something that God has laid on your heart or you feel an urgency to do, fight past the you being tired or fight past the fatigue and all of those obstacles that are in your way, because it'll be worth it in the end. Now, as far as us being women and also moms, one of the ladies today, she mentioned how we had all these kids and she was just so taken away by the fact that we were able to manage our kids but also look great ourselves. To you moms out there, I love you. You're doing a wonderful job, but you don't have to look like you are
like don't
worn down.
Like
Don't let them see you sweat. Look like you tried today, you know. Don't come out the house.
That's why it says
looking like you couldn't maintain yourself.
That's why we say we don't look like what we did.
Yeah, that's right.
Or we don't look like what we're going through.
Yeah.
Because I may be smiling and I may be looking good, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, you have to don't always just whatever's going on behind the scenes, don't allow it to show when you step foot out of the door.
Yeah. And that's a part of ministry as well. We overcome by our testimony, and our testimony doesn't always. You okay, baby? Our testimony doesn't always have to be what we're verbalizing to other people. It could be through our lifestyle, what people see. And yes, of course, you know, looking on the surface and, you know, being all made up. That's not the end all be all, and that's not what life is about, the materialistic things. But you setting an example and being a role model to other women to show them that, hey, this is possible. I can have a lot of kids and still look nice and fly and presentable. That's a ministry, because just showing somebody that they can do it through your lifestyle, that means a lot. That goes a long way. You let them know that it's able to be attainable. So I wanted to point that out too, because I see a lot of moms kind of let themselves go after they have their children. Especially if you're married. Girl, do you want to keep him? Hello? You want to keep this man? You're going to drink all my water. Because some of us, we think it stops at that beautiful ceremony. You know, we spend all this money. You got to work extra hard to keep him. And that's a part of the process, kind of glamming yourself up. You don't have to be extra glam every day. Like, we're at the beach. So I didn't put on a whole lot of makeup today.
I don't wear makeup.
And she doesn't wear makeup at all, but she still looks like she gathered herself. You know, she collected herself today.
Put it together.
So it looked like you at least tried. Don't be coming out in your pajamas and sweatpants looking crazy. Don't do that. You're tired. I understand. You had a lot going on last night. You probably were up all night with the children, but you do not have to look like it. You don't have to look like the struggle. You know what I mean? Okay.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, I was telling Devin that I was thinking about possibly having another one, which sounds crazy. But now that Grace is up in age, it's like maybe I should try again. And she was saying what I was saying, which was
the biggest transition is from 1 to 2. Like, if you have one child and then you get ready to have a second one, then that's like the hardest transition, because you're able to just focus on that one. But going from 2, 3, 4,
I think like specifically like especially 3.
Yeah.
After 3?
After 3, definitely.
She said as long as you can count.
As long as you can count, you good. Because if you know that's all I've been doing here to be, just counting. As long as
Do I have everybody?
You good.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, honest to God, we're not shooting you fluff. After my 3rd child, having the 4th and then the 5th,
yeah, it's
same thing. Like, we got it. Like, you're a professional.
Right.
At that point, I tell a lot of people you become immune to your children. Like, noise. What noise?
What noise? For real. Who crying? Somebody crying.
It's okay. We can work through this. All right, so another topic that we wanted to discuss is singleness versus marriage. Many of you have the desire to be married that are single. Even the married couples, I noticed that a lot of times early on in marriage, you want to go ahead and start having kids, start developing a family. So we want to speak to you on that. There are many singles out there who have the desire to get married, which is an amazing desire. It is one that God honors. He honors marriage because it develops the family. You're able to build together. A lot of things can be established through and by marriage. Although that is a wonderful desire, I want you to also enjoy the gift of being single. In Corinthians, I think it's Corinthians 7, it talks about how being single is a gift from God, as well as being married is a gift from God. Paul was speaking to those people who had that desire, and he was saying that I wish that many of you would be single as I am single, because it is a gift from God, because it provides a more simple life. You're able to focus on God more when you are single. But marriage is a gift from God as well, but it says that it's a gift from God for some. Some people are called to be single and some are called to be married. So for those of you who are single but are called to be married and you haven't gotten married yet, it is a process. And when you're waiting for your significant other to come, I don't want you to get discouraged because they have not come yet, but I want you to enjoy the time that you have. It's just like my daughter and how she, I have 5 girls, as you all already know, but they quite often are so ready to be an adult and they think about all the things that they can do. So it's kind of like the same thing, and I always tell them, enjoy your childhood, because once that childhood is gone, there's no getting it back. So the same thing with singleness. When you go from being single to being married, when you're married, there's no longer singleness. You can't get that back. So while you have the time and it's just you have your freedom, you can go and come as you please. You can pursue the things of the Lord without distractions. Enjoy that time. Yes, you're going to have your moments to where you're wondering when your husband is going to come or when your wife is going to come. But while you have the time to focus on pursuing and attaining goals and it being a lot easier, go for it. Enjoy this time, because there's no time like the present.
With all of that, because I definitely think that there's a certain path for every person to take. Some may take the path of pursuing their career first. Some may take the path of starting a family first, but sometimes your plan is not going to be God's plan, and sometimes you just got to roll with the punches and go with the plan that God has for you and for your life. Because I know for me, for an example, I did not finish school before I had kids and got married. I was married by 22 and we were already in the process of starting to have kids. So, and now we have 4, and I still have not yet finished because I had all of them back to back. So, and here I am in my early 30s and I still have not finished college, but it is still my dream to go back and finish. But at that time, and then I look at the single ones and I say, well, Dad, like, if only I would have waited, then I would already have my 4-year degree working on my master's. Or if only I would have waited, then this could have happened and that could have happened. But then there's a lot of single women that say the same thing to me. Well, that I'm ready to get married and I'm ready for this. So it's a pro and con for each path.
Yeah, everything's a give and a take.
At the end of the day, you're gonna make it to where you want to get to. So if you're single right now and you want to be married and have kids, it's going to happen. I'm married with kids right now already, and I want to go back to school, but it's going to happen. It's just a matter of putting your mind to it and just getting it done. But marriage is a great thing. It's something that you definitely want to wait for, definitely wait for your man to come, women.
And make sure that it's the right one.
Right. Don't just go jumping out there thinking, because we have a lot of friends that know that they have gotten married and their marriage didn't last because they were jumping right into it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So don't jump into it just because I want to be married. Marriage is it's more to it than what you may think. Yeah. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm married, I got a ring on my finger and it's a bling bling and we got these marriage license. No, like, it's work. It's work. Definitely,
yeah. Yeah, I like that she brought that out. There are a lot of benefits to being married, but we want to kind of expose the other side of it, because a lot of times we think, I've gotten married, we've had this beautiful wedding, we've said the I do's, we made these promises to each other, so it's going to be bliss, it's going to be a fairy tale, but we want to just give you an inside view of the other side of it. Marriage is amazing. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, but there are a lot of sacrifices that have to be made.
I talk to a friend, cousin / sister all the time where where she's single and she's constantly saying, well, I'm ready to be married and I'm waiting for my significant other. But like I tell her, sometimes God has us to wait in that single stage for a reason, because of the simple fact that, one, it's either going to be, there's a call on your life, and he knows that if you get married, that ministry or that calling that's on your life and that ministry that's in you, you will not pursue it or give it 100% like he needs you to do. So if you're single right now at that moment, you may have to just, you know, talk to God and say, okay, well, open the door for me to use my ministry or whatever calling it is, because he may need you to do something that is of need for right now. But if you get married and you have kids, he knows that you're not going to have the time to do that, and he knows that you're not going to have time. Or either two, it's going to be, there's some things that you have to work on. There's some things that you have to develop. Yeah, so like she was saying, you're going to have to is give and take, and there's going to be some things that you're going to have to sacrifice when you do get married. So enjoy your singleness. It's good. It's good to be single. It's good to be married. It's all good. So wherever you're at, in whatever state, just enjoy it.
Yeah, and some of us have to work on healing. Many of us have dealt with issues from our past that we have not overcome, and we think that when we get married that it'll change and completely alleviate everything. It does not. You go into the marriage broken thinking that this person can heal you, and that's not the case. Only God can really heal you. So if you're focused and, you know, dependent on this other person to do that, then that kind of makes the process even harder. So while you have this time, work on healing, inner healing, finding yourself, figuring out who you are. Enjoy what is in front of you. Don't be so focused on tomorrow that you don't get the chance to enjoy today. Everything happens in its time and in its season. That's according to Ecclesiastes. Everything happens according to its time. And it is when it is time for you to be married, when it is time for your husband and your wife to come, just like I told Mary, because she thought Mary, Miss Naturally Mary, is my sister, and it seemed like it took forever for her husband to come. And she would get discouraged many a days, and I will always tell her that it's only a matter of time. Your time will come. And it seemed like it was so far-fetched, it was so far in the distance, and now she's married. So I'm speaking to all of you out there who want to be married, who have that desire, and it seems like it will never come. If it is meant to be, and God is still God, for which he is, it will happen. But until it does, enjoy the time that you have right now. Enjoy this moment. It's gonna be okay. He will come. You have to work on the person that's looking at you in the mirror. Work on her first. Work on him first, so that when your significant other comes, you'll be ready, and that you'll be the best wife and the best husband that they can be offered. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.